Hi, thank you for choosing Kaplan International in Berkeley. Berkeley is a wonderful city with so much to offer. There's a wonderful variety of restaurants, bars, cafes, the marina, downtown, UC Berkeley, Tilden Park, and we're just 25 minutes from San Francisco on the BART train. Today, we're going to talk about health and safety, accommodations, activities, your classes, and a little bit about your visa. Kaplan Student Health and Safety. In case of emergency, please call 911. If you have another problem, you can call our Kaplan School 24/7 at 1-888-331-2809. If you are sick or need some medical help, please ask Kaplan staff. We'll help you find someone who can help. Of course, there's no alcohol, drugs, or anything like that permitted in the school. And be very careful while walking alone. And it's recommended that you don't walk alone at night. You should avoid walking alone. Use the buddy system, walk with somebody, or take a taxi or Uber. Uber is really good. Please become familiar with our emergency evacuation here. We have exit signs throughout the school, and do not use the elevator in case of emergency. Also, we have an emergency meeting point on Oxford Street. It's just down the street from Kaplan. If you see anything or anyone acting strangely, notify Kaplan. This is your school, but it's in the middle of a city. Berkeley is quite safe, but you never know. And we want you to feel safe, and of course for your belongings as well.
If you live at a homestay, you usually live about 45 to 60 minutes away from Kaplan by bus or subway. You live with a family, and breakfast and dinner meals are prepared for you. On the other hand, if you live at Borneo and the YMCA, you're closer to Kaplan. It just takes 5 or 10 minutes to walk here on foot. However, you live alone and you prepare your own meals. If you live in a homestay, your host should provide a few things for you: a bed and blankets, a dresser or set of drawers, towels, a closet, a desk, and of course toilet paper. Whether you live in a homestay or in a residence, it's your responsibility to keep your room and bathroom clean. Please do not leave your room or bathroom a mess. Have a look at these pictures. These are pictures of real students from Kaplan who have left their homes a mess. Please don't do this. It's difficult for us to keep a good relationship with our hosts and our residences if you can't keep your area clean. If you live in a host family, be sure to spend time with your host family. Here are a few tips. In general, don't leave the dinner table until your hosts do. That is, stay with them. Even if you're finished eating, sit at the table and continue talking with them. Be sure to join in conversation. Ask them specific questions. For example, ask about their day, their jobs, the Bay Area, American culture, or even some sort of grammar problem that you might be having. And of course, when they ask you questions, give them detailed answers. Describe your day, tell them about your country, and offer opinions. Be considerate of others, especially if you're in a homestay. Make sure you know what the quiet hours in the home are. Be sure to ask your host where you can keep your snacks and what you can eat if you're hungry between meals. If you smoke, be sure to talk to your host about where you can smoke, or if your host does not want you to smoke at the home, be sure that you don't do that. Also, be sure to speak to your host about the drinking rules. Our Kaplan host families have a few special requests of you. First is always lock the door when you leave the home. You should also always lock the windows as well. Another issue here in California is the drought. A drought is a time when there is very, very little water, so our land and our rivers become too dry. Please help your hosts and help California save water. Please take 10-minute showers, no more than that, and only once a day. Please do your laundry only once a week, and make sure that when you do your laundry, you wash a lot of clothes, not just a few things. Finally, turn off the water when you're not using it. For example, while you're brushing your teeth, turn off the water. Turn it on again when you want to finish brushing. Especially if you lived with a host family, it's important to communicate. It's okay if you're not going to be home for dinner, but always let your host know that. For example, you can say, "I'll come home a little late. Can you leave dinner for me?" Or, "I'll be out late, so I'll get my own dinner." Most hosts at Kaplan really like you to let them know by lunchtime if you're not going to be home for dinner. That way, they don't cook for you and then find out later that you can't be there. Another issue is travel plans. If you live with a host family, be sure to let them know where you're going and when you'll return. Otherwise, they'll worry about you. All you have to say is something like this: "I'm going to Los Angeles this weekend, and I'll be back at 10:30 on Sunday evening." Anything like that is just fine. If you'd like to have a friend over, please ask your host before you do that. Make sure your host says yes. Now, be sure that your friend does not spend the night. Kaplan does not allow that. If you have any problems, be sure to speak with your host first. After that, talk with someone at the Kaplan staff. Do you have an internet or video game addiction? Be careful. You're in charge of yourself here in America, and it's your responsibility to get up and get to Kaplan every day. Your host family will not wake you up. Be sure to think about these things. How much screen time will you have each night? How much sleep do you need every night? And what time should you go to sleep? Thinking these issues through before you start at Kaplan will be helpful to you. Finally, if you need to make changes and accommodations, please tell us as soon as you can. If you want to extend your stay at your current homestay or residence, that's fine. Please let us know as soon as possible. If you want to change to a new location after your current reservation ends, that's also okay. Please tell us as soon as you can. Finally, if you want to change your location immediately or before your reservation ends, that's okay too, but in some cases there might be a fee for this, so it's really important to let us know as soon as possible if you need to change your location. Thank you so much for listening to this portion of the presentation.
Next is activities. We have all kinds of activities here at Kaplan International. We have activities every day. Most of our activities start from 2:30, so all of our students should be able to participate if they want to. Activities are a great way to make friends, improve your English, learn about the city, and most importantly, have fun. Most of our activities are convenient, such as when we play games in the student lounge. Cheap, like our happy hours, or free, like when we play basketball or soccer or some other sport. Tickets are sometimes available for certain activities, such as sporting events. We might go to the Oakland Coliseum to watch Major League Baseball. We might go to a UC Berkeley Cal game or even musicals, such as the Christmas Carol. A lot of our activities are chaperoned throughout the week. That means there will be a teacher or a staff member coming with you on the activity. Not always. In those activities that have no chaperone, you may go with your classmates and your friends and still have a good time. We also work with another company called Incredible Adventures, and they take you on such activities such as Napa Valley. You can go wine tasting, you can go to Tahoe and play in the snow, or you can go to Yosemite and look at the beautiful falls. You can sign up for these on Incredible Adventures on their website, or just ask one of the staff. So please sign up for activities. The weekly sign-up sheet can be found on the front desk in the lobby. It's updated weekly. The activity might be canceled if we don't have at least 5 sign-ups, so please keep that in mind.
Let's start with integrated skills. So your class is going to be communicative, interactive, and task-based. This is our philosophy here at Kaplan. Number one, the most important thing I want you to know is that you are going to be speaking more than your teacher. This might not be like the university class that you're used to, where your teacher sits in front of the class and talks and talks and talks. Instead, the responsibility will be with you. You'll certainly have homework every day. It could be as little as 15 minutes. It could be as much as 1 hour. You'll certainly recover all bases of our language in your integrated skills class. You'll have listening, speaking, reading, and writing practice. Your instructor is going to give you pointed grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation practice as well. Here is the website for your homework. Tomorrow, once you start classes, you'll be given a book, and the book is going to include the website where you can reach your homework assignments. In order to access your homework, you're going to need your student ID number, which you have been given a student ID card for, and everyone's password is change me. So if you want to take a second to write down what your password is going to be, it's change me. Later on, if you find that you have trouble logging on, you can always ask me, Andrew, to fix it for you. Okay, so we spoke about integrated skills. Next, we'll speak about specific skills. Specific skills is only for our intensive English students. This class happens after lunch, Monday through Thursday. And what you should know about this class is that the focus is far more narrow. So your class is going to be reading and writing, speaking and listening, or maybe something called advanced skills. You'll certainly have a new teacher, and you'll definitely have different classmates than in your morning class. Next, we'll talk about TOEFL and academic English. Students in TOEFL and academic English classes are studying to take a test, and they're studying test-taking strategies. Students will receive an email from myself regarding TOEFL online material. If you are an intensive English student and think you might be interested in TOEFL and academic English, please let us know so we can tell you more information about it. Last, we'll talk about our K+ clubs. K+ clubs are required for general English students and optional for all the rest of our other students. If you're a vacation English student, you are more than welcome and invited to join us in K+ clubs. Here's an example of our K Plus Club schedule. Our K Plus Club schedule changes from time to time. If you're a general English student, you can go to class on Monday and Wednesday, Tuesday and Thursday, or you can complete your 3 hours in one day. Something that's important to know about Kaplan here at Berkeley is our schedule. So normally school schedules run from Monday to Friday, but here at Kaplan, our schedule starts on Tuesday and ends on Monday. So today is your orientation day on Monday, and we don't want you to miss any information from your classes. So we make sure that when you join class on Tuesday, you're receiving new information alongside your classmates. So, last few things about our classes here at Kaplan Berkeley. If you're a vacation English student, you'll be here for 15 hours a week. You'll have integrated skills every day from 9 a.m. to 12:15. If you're a general English student, you'll have classes 18 hours a week every day from 9 a.m. to 12:15. And additionally, you'll have to go to your K Plus clubs Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Intensive English students are going to be here for 21 hours per week. You'll be required to go to your integrated skills and your specific skills course. And lastly, we have our TOEFL and academic English. You have class every day from 9 to 12:15, as well as 1 to 2:30. Levels. This is very important at Kaplan Berkeley. Here at Kaplan Berkeley, we have many levels, going from elementary all the way up to advanced, C1. What's very important to know about this is that if you are in one of these levels, you will be in your class for 10 weeks. Curriculum is a 10-week course, and after you finish your curriculum in a particular level, you will be required to take a test. If you pass your test, you will move on to the next level. If you don't pass your test, that's okay. We'll help you and we'll figure out a way for you to go on to the next level. Our level test is very, very similar to the test that you took today at orientation. It's a little bit more difficult than your orientation test. It has reading, grammar, listening, speaking, and writing. And once again, you are required to take this in your 10th week. If you pass the level test and your teacher recommends that you move on, you'll move to the next level. Satisfactory academic progress policy. In short, I want to make sure that you understand that it is our job and duty to make sure you're learning English here. We strive to make sure that you are learning as much as possible, and there are a few ways that we can make sure that you are doing so. First is with our level test. Here is an example of when our level test will be taken. I suggest checking on Mondays on our website or in the office when you will be scheduled to take your level test. Level tests always take place on Wednesdays at 2:45. If you have another appointment or you are busy, please let Andrew, the academic manager, know as soon as possible. And on Friday, your results will be ready for you to see. So, a few ways that we make sure our students are making as much progress as possible are through 3 assessments. The first is our weekly quizzes. Today, every Monday, our students are taking a quiz on what they've learned. Every 5 weeks, students will receive an individual student report. We call them ISRs. And lastly, you will take your level test after 10 weeks. These are our 3 ways of making sure that you're making progress. This is an example of an individual student report, an ISR. At the top of the ISR, you can see there's biographical information, your name, what country you're from, and when you will finish here at Kaplan. Below, you can see some in-class assessments, a few things that are very quick to read: grammar, vocabulary, reading, writing, listening, speaking, and pronunciation. And at the bottom, I think this is the most important, and one of the most important things that you will receive here at Kaplan. This is your teacher comments and suggestions forms. This is a place where your teacher talks about your strengths, your developments, and what they think you should do to improve your English. You will receive this every 5 weeks. Every time you receive one of these, you'll have a short meeting with your teacher, so you can ask them a few questions about what they've written. Books. A few things to know. If you're in integrated skills, you will receive a book just like this. This is yours. You can write in them, you can keep them. You will receive one every 2 weeks. TOEFL. TOEFL and Academic English receive 3 books: Skills, Strategies, and Drills. These are yours. Library. We have a library here in school. We have books that range from very easy to very difficult. We have children's books to university level books, and everything in between. If you'd like to check out a book, please let Andrew know. Attendance and F1 policy. This is important information for all of our full-time students. Students are required to be in class 80% of the time. 80% is probably the most important number here at Kaplan. You will be hearing this over and over again. A few things to remember. If you're late, it's okay. No one will be mad. If you miss 10 to 20 minutes of class, your instructor will let you know you've been marked late. If you've missed 20 or more minutes of class, your instructor will mark you absent. If you are late 2 times in a week, this will be considered 1 absence. Please be careful. Please try to get to all of your classes on time. If you keep your attendance up to 100%, you'll be fluent and you'll be safe. If your attendance falls below 80%, you will receive a warning letter. We will let you know, student, your attendance is too low. You may fall out of status. Falling out of status is not good for your visa. So, go to class, be happy, be in status. 80%. Like I said before, this is a very important number here at Kaplan. So a few things to know. If you'd like to take a session break, do I need 80%? Yes. Yes, you do. If I want to transfer to a new school, a new Kaplan, a new university, or a new college, you will also need 80%. At the end of your enrollment, you will receive a certificate of achievement, only if you have 80% or more. If you're leaving the United States, you must have 80% attendance. Please give me your I-20 so I can sponsor you to go and return to America. Academic success. Here's a few pieces of advice from your academic manager in order for you to be happy and successful here at Kaplan. English only. Unfortunately for you, I only speak English. So if you speak to me in Chinese, Portuguese, Spanish, or anything else, I won't be able to help you. And you won't be able to help yourself. English only is so important here. It will make everybody feel like a family. Be on time. Your instructors have made so many activities for you in class. If you miss any of them, your instructor might not be able to bring you in again. Participate. It's so important that you're using the language in class. If you're just sitting in class silently, you're certainly not going to make as much progress as possible. Ask questions. Any kind of questions you can ask. If you have questions about what to do on the weekends, please let us know. If you have questions about your class, maybe something's too difficult, maybe something's too easy, please let us know. And of course, doing your homework. Doing your homework is a great way of practicing your English. And at the end of your enrollment, if you have 80% attendance, you will receive a nice certificate of achievement from Kaplan International. It will include your level, your course dates, and your attendance. And at the end of your enrollment, you may request a report comparing test scores from the beginning and the end of your study. Saying goodbye. Every Friday, graduation is held in the school lobby. We'd like to say goodbye to all of our classmates, so I hope you're there too.